Good morning, I'm Kris Pierce. I want to thank you all for joining us here on this beautiful morning. There's a famous centuries-old quote, "It's impossible to be sure of anything but death and taxes." In today's world, that relationship seems to be even closer. When you die, you get taxed. And when you saw your tax evaluations back in January, you might have felt like dying. We all understand local government relies on property taxes to function. We also know that property taxes are based on property value. But what the government truly needs to function properly is reliable consistency in property valuations. Consistency allows government's ability to control budgets and to keep taxes low. This is something that we have not had in the current Assessor Register of Deeds leadership. How can the Douglas County Board or Mayor Stothert plan budgets if they cannot rely on the values set by the county assessor? So what has been the current assessor's track record? Well, last year we had to endure the state coming in and correcting the values set by the current assessor. This led to a 7% increase over much of Omaha and an 8% decrease in the North Omaha area. This year we received a late Christmas present in January. In a letter to the county board, the Nebraska Department of Revenue stated that the current assessor decided to set the median value of our homes at 99% of market value. She chose to value at the top end of the state mandated 92 to 100%. That means over 83,000 homes in Douglas County were assessed at more than 99% of their market value. And now some, if not most of these homes are going to be taxed at a greater amount than they could sell their homes for. And projections for the next value cycle is indicating even more increases. Even more troubling, the current assessor knew that there was going to be this dramatic and drastic increase more than a year in advance and did nothing to warn taxpayers or local elected officials about what was to come. This one fact alone proves that we need new leadership in the Assessor Register of Deeds office. I'm here today to announce my candidacy as the Republican candidate for the office of Douglas County Assessor Register of Deeds. I'm running on a simple three-part platform that will improve consistency, fairness, and accuracy. First, fair values. I will assess all residential property at 93% of market value. I and the staff of the Assessor Register of Deeds office will focus on the true and fair market value of property in our county. We will work with homeowners to ensure that we get that number right. Now remember, true and fair market value is what a willing seller will sell and a willing buyer will buy a property for. We want property owners to understand that they can visit our office throughout the year, not just in February, if they have questions regarding their value. To help with this, my office will make publicly available the market value, not just the assessed value of property. We have a simple math equation. Market value times 0.93 equals the assessed value for tax purposes. This plan treats everyone equally and fairly. Secondly, true value. I will create a new market area map so that neighborhoods are the focus of comparison for your home's value, not a home on the other side of the county. Gone will be the days where Ralston is compared to a home on Blair High Road, or a home in Elkhorn is compared to a home at 42nd and Q. We learned a very painful lesson last year when the Tax Equalization and Review Commission, also known as TURC, mandated a 7% increase over much of the county and an 8% decrease in the North Omaha area. The county board was partially successful at challenging the actions of TURC. The Nebraska Supreme Court reversed the TURC decision to decrease homes' value in North Omaha by 8%. Unfortunately, the repercussion of that victory is that homeowners now owe and must pay the taxes due to the initial decrease. My plan is to focus market areas at the subdivision or neighborhood level. This will restrict the ability of the state to reach into the county and make sweeping adjustments to value. Now, if for some reason they feel that an adjustment must be made, their effect will be limited by the very focused subdivision markets rather than sweeping changes across the county as we felt last year. And third, no more double jeopardy. I will end the practice of challenging a property's value at TURC after a property owner is successful in their protest at the Board of Equalization. I will also place a value change moratorium on values for all successful protests at either Board of Equalization or at TURC. How many have heard this situation? John protests to the Board of Equalization and got his value lowered. But guess what? The assessor raised the value back to the original, or perhaps even higher, the very next year. Now, we've all heard stories about like this one. Gone will be the days when the Board of Equalization, or TERC, fines in favor of a property owner, only to have the assessor return that property's value to the protested or even higher value the very next year. It is unreasonable to place property owners in a back and forth ego trip. Property owners of Douglas County have been on an emotional roller coaster the last few years. The January surprise left many seniors and disabled veterans, many of whom are on a very fixed income, in a state of panic, wondering if they will be able to keep their homes. How many examples did we hear from property owners at county board meetings where there were value increases of 5, 6, or 800% or more? And the current assessor was indifferent, even at times combative, when the public, Mayor Stothert, and the county board asked for actions. How many times did the members of the county board ask, how did this happen? And all they got was confusing charts and spreadsheets. To this day, the current assessor has not really explained to the public or to the county board what created the January surprise. The plan I propose as the next assessor register of deeds reflects the positive change that I will bring to the assessor's office. I firmly believe that the office can be run more efficiently and use of our tax dollars more wisely. There will be no more closing the office during government hours to spend $8,000 of taxpayer money for Christmas parties. And when budgets are tight, I'm not going to spend taxpayer money to remodel my office like the current assessor has. I will improve the damaged working relationships with the county board and the city of Omaha. I will make the office a friendlier place to work and to do business with. The assessor's office does not have any say in tax rates or levies, but we can assure that the property owners are taxed at the lower end of the statutory range. My goal is to be a partner with local and state governments in creating property tax relief. I will accomplish this by providing consistency and real fairness in the assessments of Douglas County. Again, my name is Kris Pierce. I'm the candidate for the Douglas County Assessor Register of Deeds, and I'll take any questions that you guys may have.